with AI and everything that's happening, we need to figure out how is this going to really disrupt our market for us. And we really want to stay ahead of it. And I feel like I've always been one of those people who's been able to jump on trends early and not overthink it, get aggressive on it, implement as fast as I could. And that always gave me the huge advantage that I've always had when it came to Facebook ads, when it came to Google ads, funnels, automations, everything possibly, virtual assistants, everything. I feel like I've done it early. This is one of the things. It's very obvious, blaring, very obvious, red flag going off. This is going to really disrupt a lot of things, and we really want to know what this is, how it's going to disrupt it, how we can take advantage of it, so that we don't get washed away from it. Just the same way that these, traditional practices really are having a really tough time right now, and they really are. When you see people struggling with making short videos when they don't know how to do it and things like that, same thing's going to happen with this innovation that really is going to take over. So the theme of it is a lot of forward-thinking kind of topics. And the other big part of this that we're really focusing on is the experience. We're very well aware of the other types of conferences. I've heard a lot. I've been to a couple of them myself. This is going to completely be different. This is going to be a completely interactive. Everybody engages, not just sitting there listening to people to speak. People are involved. There's a thing that we're going to be doing called Lawyer Hot Takes, where everybody's going to contribute to answering very polarizing, always these types of questions that everybody always was curious to know the answer of. We're going to be debates about it. Super interactive, super engaging, and it's filled with a lot of going out, a lot of cool tours of Hollywood, of Beverly Hills. And also, I forgot to mention, it's literally at the nicest location you could possibly stay at, literally in the heart of Beverly Hills, on Rodeo Drive, at Beverly Wilshire. Me and my wife just went there yesterday to record videos. We were blown away from everything. Just literally a 5-star venue at a 5-star location, super, super premium. And the other cool part, obviously, getting to finally, for me to be able to meet each of you in person, be able to build really good relationships virtually, but let's finally get to hang out. I'll also be having Hamid there, who has been my mentor and my partner in a lot of my growth. He'll be there. We'll also be having a really interesting speakers. We're having a bunch of our members who've been having success with our programs, talking about what has worked for them. Really like a reveal all. Also, I'll be bringing on 3 of my media buyers. These are my people behind the scenes that are running the show for me. Each of these people are kind of really lead my growth for me. I'll be interviewing them, very straight, transparent conversation about what's working for very specific practice types right now. They say it as it is. That'll be kind of game changing, and a lot more. The full agenda is here. It's basically on check-in is on Tuesday, August 15th, and we'll be having a welcome reception on Tuesday night. Then we'll be having 2 full days, Wednesday and Thursday. You could take a look at the full agenda yourself with different variety of different speakers, panels, discussions, workshops, different things, experiences. You take a look, and a lot more. If you want more information, again, it's all there. If not, we also have a pretty clean, clear Google Doc that you can print out, go over, see if the dates make sense. Hopefully, if the dates do make sense, do not miss out. Do not miss out. I really cannot stress this enough. If you can make the dates work, definitely make it happen. Make it happen. Again, print out the Google Doc that I just put in the chat. Talk it out with your spouse or whoever you have to make sure it lines up with your date. If it does, really no excuses. I want everybody to come. And hopefully Ken will be having you there. And a lot of cool other people that you've seen online will be there as well. Really good experience to be able to for us to be able to meet each other and have a good time. If any questions that come up, we do have a email. They can always email. That will be answering your questions. If not, pretty much a lot of details should be on that link that I shared with you. So please try to make it happen, and hopefully be able to see you. One other thing that I also forgot to mention is we do have a limited time pricing, early bird premium pricing right now. Literally, we have 1 week left for this. I'm not doing this to make money. I am losing money on this. I don't consider losing I think of it as investing back into what I've been able to build this whole time for the past 3.5 years. So, the money, I'm not making any money from this. You're not even covering the cost. So we try to make it as literally as reduce price as much as possible. But if you do decide to come, definitely try to take advantage of the pricing, because the pricing will continuously go up as we get closer to the event. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see you. And yeah, we look forward to it. So let's get to it. And again, if any questions comes up about the live event or whatever, please let us know in the chat. We have our team members here and everything here. All right, so let's get to it. So I just put in the chat, I just put a link for ChatGPT for Lawyers book. Go ahead and click on that. I'll give you guys a minute to be able to click on that. Oh. Bridget, you want to clarify the message? I believe you should be able to see my screen. That's the one important part. You guys see my screen, right? That's the important part. Just give me a yes. You guys see my screen? Okay, good. All right. So again, put the link in the chat for this. I'll drop it off again. This is where we'll be mostly. Got it, Bridget. Should be okay. All right, so let's go here. This is the ChatGPT for Lawyers book. I've shared it before. However, I never finished anything because everything is always being optimized at all times. Well, I've added a lot more to it, and we'll be focusing on very certain parts of it today, but again, has never been shared and never shared anywhere else, and nobody has done this, but I'm about to share with you. But there's this order to what I'm about to share with you, okay? So bear with me, and it will lead to good things and very practical things for you. But actually, I just realized that we haven't done our cheers yet. So let's do that first. So I'll get on camera, grab your drink if you have a drink. Cheers, cheers. I see you, Stacy. Ken is already sipping. Amanda, Dennis, Mario, Joseph with the water. Very good. Yodo, Steven, very nice. Ramon, see you. Cheers, guys. Cheers. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so we'll be focused on this for the first half or so, and then I have about 2 or 3 other cool AI tools that nobody talks about that I've been actually using. One is AI generated images that nobody does, but I've been using it in my marketing, which has been doing pretty good. Actually, no, not pretty good. It's been our top converting ad because nobody does it. And then our second thing is a personal AI, an AI that you install on your computer that is following you on your computer, and it joins your Zoom meetings. It knows your Google Calendar. It knows what websites you're on. I know it sounds really freaky and it knows everything about you, but it basically knows everything that you're doing on your computer. The benefits of it, again, I'll get to it when we get there, is that you never lose anything. That's one. Second is you could ask any questions. What did I do yesterday? Third thing is automatically summarizes all meetings, even meetings that you're not part of yourself. Fourth thing is you're able to get new insights from things that you've done. So let's just say you had a meeting yesterday, you can ask it questions and relate to different things. And it's really mind-blowing. Again, not many people know about it, and I'll share that with you, but we'll get there. But first, I want to start off with ChatGPT first. ChatGPT is just one application of AI, okay? And it's the most popular one because it's the easiest one. It's done through text, right? Working with text. However, I found out that that your answers that you get from ChatGPT are only as good as your prompts. And a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people complain, oh, it either gives me, incomplete answers, or it gives me wrong answers, which happens all the time. But I found out over time something that I got better at, which is what I'm sharing with you on the screen here, is that the answer you get from ChatGPT is only as good as your prompt. And I really distilled it down to 2 things. In order to write effective prompts, and if you really understand this, you will get probably 3 or 4 times better at ChatGPT just by understanding these 2 concepts. Is number 1 is you need to provide context provide context to your prompts, which is what is that? That's just providing information you already know, things that you already have. Okay. So whenever you give something, give it more information. Copy and paste something from somewhere and say, hey, I already have these examples, or already have this thing, or already have whatever that is. Give it that. Whatever that is, the more the merrier. It doesn't have to be well written. It just has to literally just has to be copy pasted words, whatever that is, in order for the AI to understand what you want out of it. Okay. Context. Put in the chat context, because I want everybody this to get stilled in your head. Context. I need to always provide context in my ChatGPT prompts. Go ahead and put that in the chat. I want to make sure this resonates with you. I know as I was teaching in my program, there were certain things that I would put out there. Proof over promises. I don't know how many of you remember that. Proof over promises. This is one of those things. Context. Good. Jason, Armin. Good, Maria. All right. So that's the first one. Second thing is make it specific. You want to make this the prompt more specific to guide the AI towards the desired response. Vague prompts may lead and do lead to irrelevant or generic answers. So the more context and more specific your prompt is, the better response you will get. Okay. Just to give you an example, and I have a bunch of these examples that I'll share with you specifically for law firm owners. But let me just give you my example. We were trying to put together MLA Live. We were trying to hire an offer expert, a live event expert to come help us put this together. Instead, I'm like, wait a minute, we could just use ChatGPT. So instead, the prompt that we gave it is, you're a world-class marketing expert. This is context for a coaching program for lawyers. We have a community of lawyers who joined our program called My Legal Academy. We're planning on hosting a live event in person called MLA Live, where attendees will learn to leverage the tools, tactics, and technology of tomorrow. MLA Live will be hosted by me at Beverly Wilshire on these dates, and create a save the date invitation. As you can see, I didn't just say, go create me a save the date invitation for a live event for lawyers. That would have been a really weak, rudimentary prompt. Instead, I gave it context and I made it specific. I gave the actual details. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. But what does that have to do with you? Well, it all comes down to the prompt. But I found out, a lot of people struggle with this. But there's a thing called the prompt of all prompts, where it helps you create the prompt that you feed back into ChatGPT. Let's go through it, and I'm actually going to give you the actual prompt that you can actually use. But let me just give you the gist of it. So the prompt of all prompts says, I want you to become my prompt creator. Your goal is to help me craft the best possible prompt for my needs. The prompts will be used by you, ChatGPT, and you will follow the following process. Number one, your first response will be to ask me what the prompt should be about. I'll provide my answer, but we'll need to improve it through continual iterations by going through the next steps. Number two, based on my inputs, you will generate 3 sections. The first part, I want you to revise what I gave you, make it better. It should be clear, concise, and easily understood by you. Second part is give me suggestions to make it better. Third is give me more questions to be able to make the prompt better, and continue doing this with me until we get a revised prompt. Okay, so let's go through this and I'll show you an example, and then I'll give you an actual one specifically for law firm owners, which if you scroll a little bit down, you'll be able to see it, but let's first do this together. So somebody give me a problem that they've been having with their law firm. Okay, somebody share with me in the chat, take a minute. What is one problem that you've been having with your law firm? Okay, and let's try to make it specific. So Jim says drafting Facebook ads for personal injury law firm. Armin says emails. That's not clear enough. Armin, make it specific. No show appointments is a good one, but make it a little bit more specific. Hiring a new assistant. Jerry, what type of assistant for what? As Sarah says, drafting motions. As you can see, these things are missing specificity. So give me something that's a little bit more specific. More specific. And I'll show you why. There we go. Jason says, phone scripts for an intake in a PI firm for a Facebook lead. That is specific. So let's do it. So what we're going to do, again, this is all shared with you. We're going to copy and paste this prompt of all prompts. And what I did was actually I took this prompt and I put it into my little text expander tool, ATEX. I called it prompt. Yeah, just literally copy and paste it here. So I don't have to sit there and copy and paste it every single time. All I do is just type out semicolon prompt. And I put that into ChatGPT. I do have access to ChatGPT 4 versus 3.5. Most people, the 3.5 is free. 4 is $20 a month. I didn't hesitate to get it, and I'm happy I didn't. And this is a call to action for you. Don't overthink it. For $20 a month, even if there's $300 a month, you will still get your value as long as you use it. So I would probably recommend that you do upgrade for $20 a month. It is significantly better. So what I did, I gave that prompt, which is again the prompt of all prompts. And now it's following the prompt. It says, sure, I'm ready to assist in creating an effective prompt. Let's start with step 1. What should the prompt be about? And we're going to use Jason's, which says phone script for an intake in a, let's just say, just in case he doesn't know PI, in a personal injury law firm for a lead that comes from Facebook lead form. Okay. So I'm looking for a very specific phone script that we can use to be able to sign up personal injury clients coming from Facebook lead forms. Okay. So it already gave me the revised prompt. Okay. Again, this is just helping me create the prompt. It's not giving me the answer yet. Because again, don't forget, better the prompt, the better the answer. So we want to first get the best prompt to give us the best answer. Okay, so it gave me that revised prompt, but I'm not happy with it yet. It gave me some suggestions, but I don't really look at it, but I could. But instead, what I'm going to do is I want to answer these questions. Okay, so the first question that he asks me, and Jason, Phil, and anyone else who wants to help me answer these is, what is the usual first line of communication with the potential client? Well, it's a phone. Okay, so that one is that. Number 1 is phone. Number 2 is what critical information must be obtained during the first call. Jason, if you want to jump on audio, so you could just help me answer these, or I can answer it, but I'd rather be interactive. Feel free to join.
Got it. All right. So PI, so we want to know liability, how the accident happened.
How the accident happened.
We want to know when the accident happened as well for statute of limitations.
And what type of injuries occurred, and make sure they're not at fault. Good enough so far. Number 3, is there a particular tone or approach that the law firm uses when talking to potential clients?
Empathetic.
Empathetic, perfect. Pathetic. Anything else? Or that should be good enough.
Yeah, that's good.
And are there any standards? And this unfortunately is blocking it, but let me just copy and paste little. Are there any standards? I don't know what I read it, but good enough. It's all good. We don't need it. So what we're going to do, give it an answer, give it more. Essentially, we're giving more context and more specific response. And now there we go, giving us a beefier, more specific prompt. I just literally went through today, did about 20 of these. And I found out if I do this 2 levels, it's probably good enough. It's probably 80-90% of the way there. So we're going to answer it one more time. This is probably like a little bit less than 80%, but if we just do it one more time, we'll be sure. So let's, Jason, if you can help me answer these questions. Is there any standard introductory or concluding language that the firm uses? It doesn't have to be correct. Just give me anything.
Yeah, I just so you want to avoid talking to the insurance company.
Good. Okay, let's just leave it as that. How does the firm usually transition from between different questions or topics in the conversation? If you don't know it, it doesn't really matter.
Natural language.
Okay, natural transitions. After sympathy, let's just say.
Yeah.
Number 3, are there any legal disclaimers or confidentiality statements that need to be made during the initial call?
Not really. If we're discussing liability, we'll talk about comparative versus contributory negligence.
Okay. And how's the call usually conducted?
Included, we send them the retainer. We want the case.
All right, we should have it. All right, and I could also potentially I could A/B test what would have originally got with our original prompt, which is this versus what we're about to put in right now, which is this hefty, nice, juicy prompt. Okay, so here it is. Here's the revised prompt. Please create an empathetic phone script for the intake process of a personal injury law firm intended for potential clients from Facebook lead forms. The script should include inquiries about how and when the accident occurred, verifying that it took place within the last 2 years, the type of injury sustained, and assurance that the potential client was not at fault. It should advise potential clients to avoid talking to the insurance company. The script should include natural transitions after expressing sympathy, and the conversation should conclude with sending a retainer agreement to the potential client for signing. All right, so let's moment of truth. Let's see how good this will be. Okay, maybe no, looks okay. So I have to start a new conversation. Maybe it doesn't want to do it in this conversation, so I'll start it as a new conversation and I'll put it here instead. And let's see what you got. What the hell is this? Oh no, am I being thinged for? Oh, okay. I've never seen that before. Oh, I'm guessing this is the OpenAI kind of verifying that I'm legit.
I think it started today.
Oh no. Okay, what is this? Use the arrows to. This is the last thing you want somebody to do when they're tipsy. Use the arrows to change the number of objects until it matches the left image. Okay.
Go back. I think you had 2 Ys.
This one?
One more. Keep going. That's 4. That's 3.
Oh.
None. There you go. That's 2.
Those are weird.
That's a first. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jason from Plotkin Law Firm. I understand that you recently reached out to us through Facebook. This is a good time to talk to us about what happened. I'm really sorry to hear you've been involved in an accident. It must be a difficult time for you. Please remember, our team is here to help you, guide you through this process. We need to gather some information to best assist you. May I ask when this accident occurred? Thank you for providing that information. Since it happened within the last 2 years, we're able to assist with the case. Would you share some details about the inquiries you sustained as a result of the accident? Okay, so that's the type of injury. Next, we want to qualify on fault. It's important for us to establish the details of the incident. From your perspective, do you believe the other party was at fault? I don't know if you can notice the sympathy there from your perspective. Great. Now we also want to verify the insurance part. So thank you for sharing those details with me. Please bear in mind, it's crucial that you don't discuss this matter with the insurance company at this stage. Remember that, Jason? Remember we brought that up? Thanks to the good prompt. We want to ensure that your rights are fully protected, and sometimes conversations with the insurance company can unintentionally jeopardize that. Our team will handle those conversations on your behalf. Transition. I really appreciate your time in sharing this information with me. It helps us build a clear picture of what happened and how we can best assist you. And the call to action, but what we'll do next is to send you a retainer agreement. This is a document that formally outlines our working relationships. I love it. It's very soft and friendly. It's a client retainer agreement or whatever. It's a little soft. It's very soft. It details our responsibilities towards you. Ooh, strong. Your rights. Ooh, strong. And how our fees work. Great. You can review it at your own pace. Very sympathetic. And ask any questions if you have them. Once it's signed, we can formally begin our work in seeking justice for you. Amazing. Sympathy, more sympathy. I'll send the agreement to your email shortly. In the meantime, remember to focus on your recovery and leave the legal worries to us. Oh, this is so nice. I wish all of our intakers would say these words. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you again for choosing Plotkin Law Firm, and we look forward to helping you through this. Amazing, and talk to you soon. Perfect. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do instead, so I compare this. Perfect. Honestly, very good. And again, we just did it very quickly. If you really go in there and really add even more details, you say all the parts, all the qualification questions you need to answer. You say sympathy plus, gentleness and whatever that is, whatever tone you want to put, it does wonders. So, but what I want to do, take our initial prompt, which is very weak, right? We just took whatever that Jason gave us, and we're going to put it in and see what it gives us. And probably not as good at all. Well, probably, let's see if it's usable. It's probably usable, but probably not that great. So initial greeting, confirming, no sympathy, get information, jumps into next steps, setting up an appointment with somebody. No, instead we want to get them signed up. No, closing the call. No, completely missed it. No sympathy, no qualification questions, nothing, a lot of things that we're missing. So this works. This works. And again, makes a huge difference. It really does make a huge difference because again, these are things when you use this, you're not just using it for something small. You could essentially use this instead of a marketing director, instead of a business director, instead of a business development director, whatever that is, to get these really high level kinds of things done. Okay, so here it is. This is kind of like God mode, cheat mode, whatever you want to call it. Feel free to, if you already ran out on this document, again, I'll put the link in the chat if you joined a little bit late. Go to page, and I want everything to always be actionable. Go to page 5. Go take this, save it somewhere. What I would do if you have a text expander, it would be a perfect place to create a prompt for it, to create a thing for it. Again, I called it a semicolon prompt. I have it saved. And in time I need something very hardcore that I really needs to be detailed, then I use this. Okay. That is a lot of good stuff. But I took this and I asked myself, and also use ChatGPT to help me to figure out what are the top 20 prompts that law firm owners will get a lot of use out of. Okay. Let me just go through the categories and I'll show you a couple. And these are amazing. And these could really open up a lot of doors. And a lot of people I know struggle with finding the right people to help them grow. Essentially, this could be the missing puzzle that you were missing for some time. Okay. Number 1, law firm growth strategies. Okay. If you've been struggling with growing, this is the doors, at least clarity to know what it takes for you to grow from small to medium-sized firm. And again, we'll get into more details. Let me just go through an overview. Number 2, content marketing. Okay. Creating outlines, very good outlines for blog posts, very detailed, specifically addressing the specific practice type, specific topic for your specific potential clients. Next, financial planning. A lot of people struggle with not having their financial P&Ls and things like that in place. Well, maybe I need to do a check of, am I doing the things that I need to be to make sure that I'm following financial best practices. Next one, a lot of people have a lot of questions about legal ethics. Well, you don't have to hire. I mean, obviously, again, it's not foolproof. It's not like a clear answer. It just at least gives us a little direction to start the research you start looking at. But it could be used as research to look into legal ethics considerations for your specific bar. You can, and I would probably say, and provide resources for everything you share. Okay, whatever. Okay, next, client retention. If you have trouble keeping your clients or not getting enough referrals, that's a really good one for you to use. And again, we'll try to use I'll show you a couple of these examples. Next, law firm marketing. Okay, 3 effective digital marketing techniques that I can actually start implementing today for my practice type in my state for these potential types of clients that I need to start implementing for the next 30 days. Next, legal tech implementation. Okay, ethically and legally compliant AI-based technologies that I can use for my specific practice type that would get these benefits that I'm seeking. Next, time management. If you struggle with time management, 3 practical tips I can start using today to address the specific problem that I have in the limited time in the day. I want to minimize phone distractions, or I'm not delegating enough. That's a big one for a lot of us. So that's there. Next, social media profile optimization. I don't know what to put on my LinkedIn profile. Bam. Specifically for a estate planning lawyer, exactly how should I attract my potential clients? This is going to give that to you. Next, cybersecurity measures. Different things. We talk about this. We're not just trying to make sure you make money. You want to protect what you have. Well, this is a good one. Next, this is a really, really good one. I should probably bring this up. This is staff training. You're a world-class staff trainer. for law firms. And again, sorry if I'm just going through this. Don't worry. I just want to give you an overview and I'll come back to it. You're a world-class staff trainer for law firms. Recommend beneficial training modules or topics or instructions as you see fit for this specific job title to improve this particular goal that I'm trying to get them to accomplish. Okay, literally gives the SOP essentially. Next, case management. How to improve my case management for this particular law firm to reduce inefficiencies and increase productivity. Next, recruiting. A lot of people struggle with this. If you've struggled, well, I don't know how to hire. I don't know what to do. I need this types of people. Well, just even give you clarity. I'm looking for this type of person to do this for us with this kind of user experience. It'll give you actual practical ways to actually go find those, find that talent. Next, office environment optimization. Next, building a strong legal team. Next, sustainability in law firm branding, networking, and very importantly, probably one of the most important is work-life balance. But we want to make sure that this is practical and valuable that we actually get to do. So give me suggestions of which one that we should do right now. If it was me, I would probably do maybe the work-life balance. But let me know in the chat which one you would love to be able to see, and then we'll do the same thing that we just did, make this actionable, and let's see what it gives us. Stacy says time management. Does anybody else want to see time management? Yeah, give me. So maybe let me know either A, time management, B, recruiting, or C, case management. So either time management. Let me get it again. Okay. So either time management, recruiting, or case management. Give me A, B, or C, and then we'll see which one to do. And so we got, we see so far B's ahead, tied with A. Give me a couple more. Give me A's or B's. Which one do you want to see? B. Good. Give me a couple more. B. Okay, let's do B. A little bit more B's. Seems like just barely. Let's do recruiting. All right, so let's take this. Again, what I would do, by the way, is I would print this out. You don't have to print out the whole thing. Maybe I would print out up until, I don't know, either up until page 9 or so, or you can print the whole thing if you like. If you want to save paper, you could maybe print it up to page 9. And what I would do, I would probably circle the ones that you're struggling with. Maybe circle just 3 of them. You don't need all of these. It will overwhelm you. And take some time, and we'll talk about this later, how to actually make this tangible. Actually, no, I'll save that for later. So let's just do recruiting. So recruiting. There we go. And if I really wanted to get fancy, I would do the whole prompt thingy, but I've already done it for you, by the way. I've already done the prompt things. I was sitting there today doing what I just did for you 20 times over to get these. I already had pretty good prompts, but I optimized it based on what I just shared with you about 10 minutes ago. Okay, so who wants to do this? Steven, I would love to have you do this with me. Stephen A. Smith. You can jump on audio so we can fill this out together.
Okay.
All right. First of all, good to see you as always.
Always. Of course.
Always, man. All right. So what we want to do, we're a world-class recruiter for law firms. And if you notice too, by the way, that's another secret, is I always try to tell it what it's really, really good at. Okay. It gives context. So basically, imagine like AI has all this knowledge base, but now as soon as you give it that, it starts focusing in that realm of expertise. Okay. So that's kind of like fine-tuning it. So explore modern recruitment strategies for law firms seeking to attract top candidates for, Stephen, for what type?
I'll do case management positions.
Case manager with a focus on challenges, on addressing challenges related to, what do they have to do?
They have to
manage personal injury cases.
Right.
What do they
right.
have to do as part of managing personal injury cases?
As part of personal education, they have to communicate with insurance companies, adjusters. They have to communicate with clients. They have to draft demand letters.
That's probably good enough.
Okay.
With any specific experience that they need to have?
They would have to work in a law firm environment for, at least, I'll say at least 2 years.
Let's say 3 years. By the way,
Yeah.
something that's very clear. Nobody should be hiring people that have no experience.
Right.
You're gonna struggle. Hiring interns. You're gonna get burnt. Hire people with experience. It really, really matters. Okay, experience matters. So this is good. So let's go to it. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, giving me a full list, but I want to make this better. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. So as a world-class recruiter for law firms, I understand the challenges that law firms face when seeking top candidates for case manager positions. Here are some modern recruitment strategies that can help address these challenges and attract qualified candidates with experience in managing personal injury cases, communicating with insurance companies and adjusters, communicating with clients, and drafting demand letters. However, give me a full list. I don't have time for these 8 things. So I'm going to say, give me your top 3 most effective strategies that I can delegate to my virtual assistant to start doing today, so I can hire a case manager within 7 days, right? Very specific. Is that a good one, Steven?
It is.
Right? Narrowing down to 3 that I want to delegate out to because I don't want to do this. And I wanted this to be done within 7 days. So let's see what it gets. If it gets better. Okay, let's see what it does, what it gave us. Number 1 is it gave us targeted job posts and outreach. Okay. And it gives some specific platforms where it does that. Number 2 is resume screening, initial interviews. And number 3 is candidate follow-up and reference check. This sounds good. Okay, I'm going to say turn this into an SOP that I can delegate to my virtual assistant to find candidates and qualify for me based on 5 qualification questions. And this is where I'm going to start giving a context.
Okay.
So I already have internal notes. Actually, one of the resources that we have is our little virtual assistants. And let me actually bring this up because I know it will be useful for just this moment to give it more context. So we have one of the things is this one, hiring employees SOP. This is shared with our members. Anybody who essentially needs to hire, what I do is, well, what I do myself is literally give this SOP to a VA and it has all the instructions for them to follow to the T, literally to the T, with all the Loom videos, with screening questions and clear instructions on how to get these qualification questions answered. And if they answer a certain way, go get them booked in my calendar or in our managers or directors calendars for them to interview. Okay. So we have some questions right now. So here it is. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to copy paste these into ChatGPT. Again, I'm giving it more context. And maybe, you know what, maybe give it more context. Might as well give it more. If they pass the screening questions, invite them to a Zoom video link. Let's see, let me give them that. If they pass the screening questions with good answers, again, if you could say what those good answers are, but just for the sake of example, I'm just thinking, tell the SLP should tell the virtual assistants to book them on my calendar on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 5 p.m. Okay, we just turned this how-to into an SOP. Job post and initial screening. So it says create a job post. You're going to evaluate the candidates. You're going to do follow-up and reference checks. Again, this is just giving you things. There's parts, obviously, that like I don't want reference checks. So we could take that out. And final candidate selection. Literally, this becomes an SOP, which again, for our members, already have this SOP, but get the idea. Just from that, we now have clear instructions that ideally, again, we don't want to do this. We just have a dedicated VA who just can follow these instructions for them to do. So Steven, I'll put this in the chat. Hopefully it will fit. If not, I'll share with you. Yeah, it seems like the message is too long. I'll share this with you. Again, now turn this actual problem into a tangible, practical thing that we can do.
Awesome.
Awesome. This, you know what this time's for, right? Cheers. Thanks for that. Yeah, Manda's mentioning, let's open it up. Let's do a little like 5-10 minutes, little hearing from you. So.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, Bridget.
Before you do that, just so you know, nobody can see each other.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a setting you have to click. I know you were doing a presentation before, so we didn't want to change anything, but
nobody can.
They can only see you.
No. That's unfortunate. I have no idea. That's never happened, and it's not an option that I've seen. Maybe this is it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it, right? I think it's a thing called focus mode.
Can everybody see each other now?
Yeah. Ken says yes. No.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a random new setting I guess Zoom has called focus mode. Like it sounded cool when I enabled it, when I created it. Basically, it says when somebody joins, put them on focus mode. But I thought focus mode would just be on their computer, but I realized now that I'm realizing it wouldn't change their computer settings. It would probably change their Zoom settings. So that kind of makes sense.
That's because you're Mr. Focus, Sam.
Yeah, I guess when I see focus, I'm like, yeah, I want focus.
I just want to say Sam has been like away. He's been in this incredible AI world for months, right, Sam?
Yeah.
It's really exciting what you've been doing.
For sure. And the reason is, again, when in something like this, that really is life-changing. Again, jumping early really matters. Going hard, aggressive, more so than, the rest of the people. So I encourage it. And it was something that we called out early, right? It came out late in November, I believe. In December, we're already talking about it and bringing it up and showing it and different things. So yeah, totally. Good. So let's actually, Bridget, you want to engage? Let's bring up some people that have been implementing some AI and ChatGPT in their law firm. Let's get some engagement of people. So please let us know if you have some experience, and I know there are. Please let us know so we could have you share your experience with us. Let me know. I know some. Oh, Brent. I know Brent is. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Can you hear me okay? Good. So yeah, good seeing you too. And this AI, what you've been doing with it is pretty amazing, actually. So I actually have been trying to warn people about AI and my posts about it, because there are some dangers, as some things that have happened. But it can be very useful. In fact, I used it to help me write a script to convert a lot of files that I had from a client that were not USPTO compliant for trademark specimens into trademark USPTO compliant specimens. I didn't want to do it myself. I didn't feel like I wanted to pay someone to do it. So I wrote a script and it did it. So
how did it do?
What's that?
How did it do?
Well, the script initially, I probably gave it too general of a prompt. The script was wrong, but because I am also a programmer. I have a lot of experience on this. I was able to fix it. It gave me enough to start with. It kind of gave me a starting point because I never used the language that this was written in before. So I was able to discern the syntax for the language from what ChatGPT gave me. I was able to install the appropriate development environment on my workstation based on the information I received. And within 3-4 hours, I had a script that converted 50 files into USPTO compliant trademark specimens.
Amazing. And something that did get brought up in our previous meetings was ChatGPT is limited by how many words you can give it. Something just came out this week that bypasses that. So let me share that. So this is perfect for anybody who has like contracts or like long form content. I would say contracts, long documents. Here's how to do it. Here's how to bypass that limit. Okay. So what we want to do, it's called OpenAI Playground. Okay. So let's go to OpenAI Playground. Here's the link. Put the link in the chat. And what we want to do on the right side, we want to change it to chat. Okay. And the module, we want to change to GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K. 16K, I believe, stands for 16,000 characters. And this, where we could drop off, copy and paste a very long form contract or document or whatever that is. If anybody has a specific contract they would like to review, let me know. If not, I have a random. Just when I pulled partnership agreement is not that long. Let's try to find something a little bit longer. Anybody has something, let me know. Let me see. I have a folder full of random. Maybe independent contract agreement. Let's take a look. How long is this? Decent, good enough. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go and paste it here. Again, don't forget about the specific setting right here, chat and ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo 16K. And the message is review the following contract and let me know where there are holes that I might get screwed at if I'm hiring a marketing company with this contract. Let's see what it gives us. Okay. If it stops, I'm just going to say continue. Pretty good. All right, so it just pointed out. Obviously, it gives you the disclaimer. Make sure to have an attorney review it. And we definitely, obviously, it's not foolproof. By the way, these things aren't foolproof. It just gives you a good sense of where to head, where to look at, so you can do your own review. But first, number one is scope of work. The contract should provide a clear and detailed description of the services the marketing company will provide. Make sure it aligns with your expectations and has specific deliverables and timelines. Right, pretty obvious. Number two, payment terms. Number three, make sure you check off on the intellectual properties. Confirm the contract explicitly states that all intellectual property created by the marketing company during the course of the engagement is assigned or licensed to your company. This ensures that you have ownership or appropriate usage on the work delivered. So let's just say this one. I'm going to say, okay, I like this one, right? I don't have this. So I'm going to say, write a clause for me for bullet point 3. There we go. Let's just say I was missing this. Give me the specific clause. Again, not completely to rely on. Again, some people freak out and like, what do you mean? Again, just something gives you some idea. Definitely review yourself. Make sure it checks out. Say, is this compliant in California? Whatever you want to do. Yeah. No. Yeah, it doesn't really give me an answer, but you guys get the idea. But the important part is we were just able to bypass the long form kind of part. Again, the way to get to it is It's OpenAI Playground. Again, I'll put the link in the chat again. What you want to do on the top right, change the mode to chat, and the module is 3.5 turbo 16K. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to. Yeah, you guys get the idea. I was going to put the link in the chat, but it's okay. Yeah. And then what you do is you put copy and paste whatever content that you have here on the left side. And then on the top right is where you write your prompt. Now, nobody has an excuse for, long documents, things like that. The other thing that I'm super excited about myself that I've been really waiting for is a very specific ChatGPT 4 plugin called data. What is it called? I forgot the name. It's called code interpreter. This is mind blowing. Let me just show this. Let me show a video on this because this is probably the thing that I really am most excited about. OpenAI code interpreter. Find the short one. Go with this.
Available to everyone.
Let me make sure it's a good video. No, let me just do a better one. So, and make sure the audio is good and make sure. Yeah.
OpenAI just introduced a new feature for ChatGPT called the Code Interpreter. And to be honest, this isn't just some ordinary update. No, it's going to shake things up big time. ChatGPT's Code Interpreter allows anyone to code interacting with the AI in plain English, which means no confusing jargon or complicated syntax. You talk to it like you talk to a friend, and it gets to work. And this is all part of OpenAI's goal to make artificial intelligence less scary and more user-friendly. The mainstay of this upgrade is that ChatGPT can now do more than just understanding and generating text. It has transcended into the realm of interacting with code and media files. Imagine this. You can upload an image, a spreadsheet, or even a video, have ChatGPT process it, and deliver the output in an easy-to-use format. It's really awesome, right? Let's dive deep into the details of how this amazing feature was created. OpenAI explains that they mainly used a method called reinforcement learning from human feedback, RHLP, to develop this groundbreaking ability. It's basically a machine learning training technique that uses human responses to help the model learn. This approach has already shown impressive results in previous versions of ChatGPT, and now they've taken it to the next level, making it rotate or fade. You can even combine different types of content by using commands like merge, split, or overlay. Let me share a couple of examples to showcase the power of this. So, one user uploaded a CSV file containing the locations of all lighthouses in the US and asked ChatGPT to create a visualization. And ChatGPT generated a GIF that displayed a map with the lighthouse locations. Another user uploaded a CSV file containing San Francisco crime data and asked ChatGPT to visualize the trends. And in a matter of seconds, the data was filtered, sorted, and presented graphically. So it's not just about making things easier. This big improvement brings a whole bunch of new opportunities, especially for people who might not be experts in this kind of stuff. We cannot discuss this upgrade without talking about its ability to understand and...
Yeah, let me just talk it out. So it allows you to import, Excel files, which is basically data. So imagine any data that you have, which for us, it could be our leads that we capture or our clients. Okay, any kind of data that you have, you import it right into ChatGPT and you could ask it questions. So this, I do this all the time. I'm always analyzing data, what's going on with all of our leads, what answers are they giving us in their, what words are they using in their answers when they become leads, because I use that in the marketing. When they become clients, they fill out an intake. That's really good language to be able to also use in our marketing, and also helps us figure out who they are so we could tailor the targeting or the marketing and the funnels and the websites based on those things. I had to go create pivot tables left and right to figure that out. And it would take me to have to clean it up, create pivot tables. And even then it wasn't like clean. It wasn't really organized. Instead, literally within 2 minutes, I could go ask it, go create me a chart of the type of potential client, of the type of clients that we sign up. Tell me exactly in what states are they coming from, what problems that they're having, summarize that for me, create marketing material, etc., etc., etc. It just opens up so much from just pure data. Again, we're in this time where these tools are going to become easier and easier to use. And I think with the part we're at right now is to collect your data. Collect your data. Again, a good rule of thumb is every time you have a lead coming in, make sure it's all going to one central database, ideally like a CRM. Okay, we have the legal funnel CRM, ideally should go there. And then every time you have a client, make sure it's all being stored somewhere. All the answers, all the welcome, all the intake answers, it's all being stored. That is data that you can easily feed into these systems to figure out what is going on. And again, we deal with this, when I work with you to be able to grow. One of the first questions I ask is like, what do you do? Like, where you get your clients from? What type of clients do you get? And a lot of people don't have that data. They don't know what type of clients are you getting? How much? What's the average? Money cash collected from each potential clients. This is very it's required for you to be able to grow. So collect the data, and then hopefully when these things are released, as long as you have the know-hows, it should be very easy to be able to have actionable steps, things that you can do. It really feeds itself. The data feeds the marketing and everything else. So I think you guys get the idea with this, but I don't want this to go to waste. Again, put a lot of thought and time into this. What I want you to do is to print this out, and I want you to circle at least 3 of them. And I want you to schedule some time either over the weekend or next week to put some time into taking one of these prompts and having clear know-hows of what you need to do for your firm. Once you get this, again, it's either your own how-to instructions, or what I do is delegate this out. And in any of these, you get the clear instructions. As long as you're clear in what you're trying to accomplish and you have a deadline, these all could be delegated out. So please use this to your advantage. And again, it hasn't really been shared anywhere else, and nobody has put it into this format. So please take full advantage of it. Also, let me just also share, we brought this up early on in My Legal Academy, is we try to incubate ideas about how we can use AI in our practices. And basically, in order for us to figure out how we can apply this, the question that we brought up to in our community is, what are the biggest challenges that we have as law firm owners? The first one, which is I think the most important one, is signing up more law firm clients, right? Who doesn't have that problem? Everybody does. Everybody wants more clients. So I'm like, hey, maybe if I could focus on figuring out how I can use AI to sign up clients for my law firm, that'll be game changing. So for the past, I believe it's been like 7 to 8 weeks now, almost 2 months, been hardcore every day working on a solution called Intake AI to be able to use AI to sign up clients. And the good news is we have been using for one of my law firms, we have been using it effectively. Literally, clients being signed up by AI. Really cool. There'll be updates to this. I don't want to reveal it yet, but there are some updates to this, and there's more to the story. And I'll be revealing all of those at MLA Live. There's really cool epiphanies and things that when I really had to brainstorm and think about how am I getting clients signed up without our potential clients needing to talk to intakers, I had to get really creative. And there were some things that I learned along the way to be able to do that. And I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, everybody could use this. It doesn't matter even if you don't use Intake AI, everybody needs these things. And those are things I'm going to be sharing at the conference. At least that's one of the main, one of the things I'll be sharing there. So that's the first application of AI that I'm super excited to kind of reveal. Second part is customer service AI for our law firms. Why do we have to continue answering the same questions over and over, right? We get emails, we get texts, we get calls from our potential clients, we get calls from our clients. What if we can create an AI that could answer our clients or our potential clients for us? Sounds reasonable enough, right? Well, good news. That is also possible, and been able to do it. Right now, I'm in the trial stage, being implemented. I'm gathering data. How many of these inquiries have been getting? Has it been answering it correctly? Has it not? that's literally in the works. And again, that is also being shared about literally revealing how we've been able to do that with all the epiphanies and the results at our MLA Live 2023. So that's that. The other one is a lot of people need it, is drafting different things. That I didn't focus on. One of our My Legal Academy members, Mike Smith, has been able to focus on that. He was able to solve that. He focused on, I believe, was for probate. It was probate, and he built a whole infrastructure of when a client gets signed up, the client signs up an intake, and from the client's intake answers, the entire filing, the petition for probate is drafted. And all it requires is just one final review by the attorney. And then it's literally processed right after that. He was able to put that together. I'll try to see if we can share those behind the scenes again at the conference. But that's something, again, any kind of drafting, anything could, once I saw this and I saw it behind the scenes, I realized like anything could be drafted. Anything. Doesn't matter how intricate it is. So much so that, Mike Smith's little AI tool was able to figure out, based on the answers, exactly which jurisdiction, which statutes apply to which jurisdiction based on the specific answers the clients was giving. And it was able to draft very specific, filings specifically for those jurisdictions and statutes. So everything is possible with this. It's just about figuring it out and then putting it together. And again, we try to share all those resources with our members. Once we put it together and it's actually working, then we kind of share that. Again, I'm super excited to be able to share those epiphanies at MLA Live 2023.